I think I'm live. Hello, welcome to my desk. It's Friday, and it's like the best day of the week. Especially if you like me work, then it means that weekend is coming up. So of course my mood is just like pring. So good. Um, I'm doing this as a live stream. I'm working in the Lynda Barry book, so don't worry. Just because you don't see Lynda Barry on my desk right now, I'm going to get to it. I'm just waiting for, let's see if someone wants to visit so I can say hello. And while I'm waiting, I just wanted to show what I've been working on this week. Just like a recap. I seem to forget that a lot. You know, telling you guys what I'm playing with during the week. Hello, Anne. Thank you for coming. So good to see you. So I spent this week mostly outside in the garden because unlike all you guys who got snow, we got like decent summer weather, like sunny and yeah, we had like the most beautiful Easter. So I have not been that much creative the past 7 days, but I did play with magicals. It's that the unpredictable pigment powder that acts like New Year's Eve confetti. You find it in impossible places weeks after you used it. And I did that while watching Janet M. Young. So that's why I wasn't that active in her live chat. Hi, Laurie. Welcome to my house. You're watching from work. Yeah, I hope you're getting off work soon so you can start your weekend. But what I do when I play with magicals is that I wet the paper and then dump the powder, and whatever comes up, I try to work on that when it's dry. So it just happened to be that I saw the shape of a nose and then the sail from a sailboat. So I don't know if you guys ever been to museums that has a lot of paintings called no title. I think it's so hilarious. I went to a museum here in Denmark with abstract art just to, get to know more about abstract art. And it seemed like every single painting had the title, no title. But I was, thinking about the issue about titling your work. So I think if I should give this one a title, it would be like shipwrecked, because these eyes looking like terrified, like oh my god, like this was a horrible storm. So let's see, only 9 work days in next 3 weeks, and then you're retired. Oh my god, I can't wait for me to get retired. I'm gonna say congratulations. Oh my god, that's like a daydream for me. I set myself up investing some money and plan to retire 2026. I know that's kind of early, but I'm just so tired of, I've been working since as long as I can remember. My first job, I was like 14, flipping burgers. So I've been, I paid my dues out there. I just want to enjoy the rest of what's left of time that I can still use my hands and stuff. So, hello, Amber. Welcome. Oh, man. I think I'll move on to the next drawing that I made. Like I said, Danish museums are kind of special. There is Hirsprungssamling. So if anyone is familiar with that, there is a famous Danish painter called Hammershøi, and these are inspired by him a lot. I really enjoy his line work, and I worked here on the two expressions, the one with that cool like very cool tones, and then this is like a sunset in yellow. I just wanted to see how what different look it gets, when you are manipulating with the colors. So oh, thank you. But it's like pretty plain, and there is an explanation to why I'm making these are actually backgrounds, because in my this is my daily planner, right? Oh, I thought the face was pretty. Okay. No, it's like terrified eyes. But thank you. And in this, inserted, and I knew that it was stupid because it's a planner. It's supposed to be like for serious stuff. I inserted these sheets of cotton watercolor papers, and that's the first one I drew because I saw a painting online, and then I drew this one, and then I thought, oh, I should blow it up like in big ones. And then I'm watching Versailles at the moment. I don't know if you guys know that TV series. So I got inspired to do some pretty vintage 18th century dresses and fashion from that time with a really pale white face and all the beauty marks to cover up imperfections in the skin. So yeah, my plan is to imagine if I could like place him smack here on this, place her in a chair with this awesome background. So I think that will be next week's things to play around with. So, and then I saw that Lindsay, the frugal crafter, she had a paint along, you could call it, tutorial. I don't know, doing this. So if you watch her channel, you can see her work on this, and I just simply worked along. So that's just it. So everything was like really tight, like linear ruler work, except for the magical one. So yeah, sometimes it's just like that. Okay, but let's talk about Lynda Barry. Lynda Barry. I have to get these notification off my screen so I can read chat. Let's see. Yo. Okay, you guys, if you have seen my last two uploads where I talk about Syllabus book, and I want to work through them in these live streams, you might wonder, why did I start on page 60? Like I'm grabbing a book saying that, hey guys, I want to work with this from start to finish, and then I'll start on page 60. And page 60 was about the daily diary. And now comes the explanation. I wanted you guys to set up your daily diary first so that you get involved in it and have like attachment to it. Because if you've got attachment to your journal and you love grabbing it and love opening it, you're more inclined to also put some stuff inside it. And these first 60 pages, Lynda talks about what the hell to put inside the journal. But I think that in our community, we are more like, we like to build journals, and the whole process of setting it up, choosing paper, all that stuff. So we like to build the journals and then worry about what the hell I'm going to put inside of it when it's built, right? So that's why I thought that it would be a cool idea to start working in this book by having focus on the work tool, which is the journal. And the journal is a composition book, right? And now I can just I think I'll just speak about what's going on in the first 60 pages because, as you've noticed, Syllabus is the title of the book, and every teacher needs to write a syllabus to tell about their semester and also sort of sell their idea, like so the students know what they're getting into and what's going to be expected from them. So, of course, this is Lynda Barry's personal presentation of her course. So she's working towards telling us that we have to learn to draw the unthinkable. So when the semester is over, we are able to be more specific and draw from the unthinkable place in our mind. So in the first 60 pages, she talks a lot about how to connect with an image. And she talks and writes about you can exercise by thinking back to the first childhood image and try to put some images on it, like she talks about something that really annoyed you when you were a kid, and it can be fun stuff like there were some examples about girl who always cut off the eyelashes of her dolls. And then that's an image in her head. So she's talking about where does this storage come from? And she also talks about working on index cards, asking the students to go out 45 minutes and then just sketch what they see. So not only is she going to have the people to have focus on images that are stored in our brain, and also try and put line work to paper. So she kind of sets up that in the 60 pages, and also talks about class rules, stuff like they have to alter their name so they don't, hi Janet, they're not called, the students are not called their real name. And she was once Professor Chewbacca one year, and I think she does it to undress people. So when you enter the classroom, you're like this avatar. So you're more likely not to be embarrassed about what you're doing. That's just an idea. But hey, you know what? I also think that it's like in a lot of cults and sects, in cult, they rip off people's personality. So maybe she got inspired by that, thinking that if you need to get into the unconscious core of yourself, ripping off your identity that's glued to your name might help you, I don't know. No idea. I'm just speculating here. And then she also talks about how important it is to kind of not meditation, but focus on that now you are going to be creative in a certain way. And I think it's because we're getting bombarded with so much noise in our daily life. So you might need to draw her concentration circles or something to get into the zone. But yeah. Then on page 60, she started talking about the daily diary, and that's where I started my introduction, because I think it's so important to have this as a tool that you want to go to for the exercises, because she has a lot of exercises in this book. Yeah. And what to say about these exercises is that a lot of them you read it and then you think, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Like, I understand. Like, she, her first task when she's starting up a class is actually to tell people to draw 3 paintings and fill them out with um, crayon, wax crayons. And that's one of those exercises where I would think like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it because I kind of get it, like you're just sitting there filling out pigments. So let me skip to the next page. But I think it's important to try it. And the reason why I think it's important is because I read on page 72 a quote. She's talking about a quote from MP Follett. Follett. He's the author of a book called Creative Experiences, and he wrote it in 1930. I'm just going to read this up. Concepts can never be presented to me merely, they just be knitted into the structure of my being, and this can only be done through my own activity. I had to read that 3 or 4 times because English is not my like my native language, so I didn't really. But now I think I get it. It's learning by doing, right? He's talking about, and I'm going to give an example. Like, you can read about how to drive a car with a shift gear stick, and it's very simple. You just start from neutral, put in the clutch, push on your speeder, put the gear stick in first gear, and then release the clutch slowly while you're pressing on the speeder. You can read that and think, okay, now I know how to do it. So next page, next step, But actually, you don't know how to do it. It's like a muscular memory. You have to try it over and over again before you really learn that tiny lesson of shifting from neutral to first gear in a car. And I actually think that what he's talking about is that if he's going to learn something new, he cannot just read about it. It has to be knitted into his muscular memory by doing it. So that really inspired me, this quote, to actually try out all these silly exercises and assignments that she's been handing out to her students, because there must be something to gain from it, you know. I'm going to call the gas pedal the speeder for the. Okay, it's called a gas pedal. Okay. But anyway, I really think that that must be it. Hmm. And then I also think that I should try the first assignment that she's giving out to her students, which actually is to fill a whole page with just these annoying wax crayon. And I say annoying because, you know, I never had like a real Crayola crayon, so I lack that nice smell it apparently got. So the smell-o-vision of the drawing is gone. I only got like really irritating wax crayons from the cheap supermarket. I dislike working with them. I think it's like streaky. It's tough to cover a color. I cheat. I even cheat. I do my first layer and then I heat set it with a heat gun, and then I'm able to remove the wax and get the second coat in. That's how annoying I think it is to work with waxy crayons. So I think that that's what we're gonna do today. Work from these pages where she's like talking about, oh, I hate crayon. It's a uncomfortable tool to work with if you have tried. And I think she's thinking about Neocolor crayons, you know, like really soft and potent pigment other crayons. So, but she doesn't really write why and what you're supposed to get out of this exercise, only that do it and then you'll figure it out. So we're going to do that today. One of her favorite thing is that you can have all the candy in the world that you wish if you can draw the packaging of it, and that's what this page is about. I think it's so cool. Her first class assignment, she asked people to come in class with 3 sketched coloring pages, and then she's handing out a bunch of candy, and then she asked people to sit with their 24 Crayola crayon box, eating candy and then just filling in the color. What a great first class, right? So yeah, let's do that. But I want to talk about some ways to get around if you feel that you're not good at drawing. And she is a fan of a guy who's called Ivan Brunetti. Brunetti, I think he's called Ivan Brunetti. And I saw her examples in this book, and I'm just quickly gonna share it with you because I actually thought it was kind of genius. So let me get a page here. Ivan talks about, if you're going to take her class, you have to find your own style, right? You have to find a style that's easy for you to depict, let's say, a human like yourself. So he said that you could start with a round circle for the head, put on a rectangular for the body, put in a triangle for the nose, the eye. Now it looks like a duck, I know. The mouth. And if you need to, you could like draw hair. And then everyone can do like little legs and arms. I mean, and who says that they got like regular arms with finger and stuff? It can just be like whoop, something like that. And then you can alter the shape of the body depending on whether it's a boy or a girl to your taste. Like girls could have like a more triangular shape because it's a dress, right? But now comes what I think is really genius. If you have like a face that's shaped round to begin with, let's say that's just how your face is, right? Look how clever it is that if your person is a person who's got, like Lynda Barry, is it called pigtails? You know, her hairstyle is like two things, one thing on each side. Here she's looking straight at you. Oh my God, I'm gonna take another, let me take a black pen. See how you can have her look straight at you like, oh, what's going on? Or she can be looking at the side and you can see on the pigtail that she turned her face. And then she can also be like looking downwards, like when she's pissed. Just because you have that circle and she can like turn directions, and you still got that same um what do you call it, same circle that you're working from. I thought that was pretty geniusly, because sometimes we want to illustrate something and then it needs like a turned face, and you're thinking, oh, I can't do turn faces nicely, so I'm just gonna make her not turn her face. But I love the idea that you start with a basic symbol, and then you can twerk it into looking down, looking up, looking straight at you from side to side. So that even Brunetti is not crazy at all. I actually think that she's telling her students to get one of his books and then just read about it. Yeah, candy packaging is fun to draw. You've drawn a lot of candy packaging. I remember your Inktober once was totally awesome. It was just all about candy packaging. So, but okay, I want to show you guys what I've been working on. I haven't done a lot of daily journal spreads. Hi, Rhonda. I wanted to provide myself with a pocket. So if I got an awesome idea, I can just put it on a note paper and then tuck it in. And because I like symmetry, I'm a jerk like that. I also gave myself a similar pocket in the back and then just tucked in some journaling cards for those brilliant ideas, you know, for my daily journal. So it was just a regular scrapbooking with pattern paper. So yeah, that's kind of nice. And then I think I showed you guys these pages. Okay, remember that I had like in total there was like 4 different ways to do your daily journal. You could do the generic basic quick format from Lynda Barry's book, or you can do like a double spread, set your own rules, have a tiny place for notes and then a date tag, so it becomes like a daily task. Or you could investigate an art supply per page, so you could like dig into your stash and figure out, yeah, the size of your stash, what you forgot, you know. Or you can have a page spread where you have focus on time and budget and more about composition, so that you train yourself in looking at the world like an image. So I've been trying to, you know, using all 3, 4 uh, page spreads, it's called. This is like my own, like what I did, heard, and saw. Those 3 things: did, saw, and heard. And this is my daily diary, where I'm using the budget one, where I'm focused on time. And this is more of the just did, saw, and heard. So let me just go through them. I think this one is the last drawing where I left you guys while I was streaming. I tried to fill it in with these obnoxious crayons. And it was so hilarious. Somebody in chat, I think it was Janet, who said I would have kicked him in his ganoush. So the title for this spread is called Getting Ganooshed. And then Norman is coming running in saying, "Gosh, did you watch the Oscars? I can't believe that Chris Rock didn't hit the floor. No, did you see Chris Rock getting smacked by Will Smith? I can't believe that Chris Rock didn't hit the floor. He must be made out of a rock, you know." And then his friend is saying, "I can't believe that the rock just let it slide. I would have kicked him in his ganoush." I think it's so hilarious. And then I added the cheese and the tomato, and then I wrote down here baba ganoush because I will never forget that word. That's such a hilarious positive word for something that's going straight through your mouth and in your stomach. So that was a fun spread. And then this is also a spread where I'm trying to use these wax crayons. So I drew a rhino and then a small ladybug down here, and then the ladybug, it's in Danish. The ladybug is complaining about, "Why do you think that I cannot be your girlfriend? I mean, why do you think it's so impossible?" So she's like pleading him, like, "Please understand that every relationship's got starter issues. So can we just give it a try anyway?" And he's like, "No, ain't gonna happen." So okay, now comes this one. This one is just because I managed to draw this. I was testing out an oil pastel, and then I just scratched this in the center of the page. So I'm kind of building everything up, like borders around that. I don't know, instead of like ripping out the page, you know? Okay, daily diary. What I did was that I took yesterday's YouTube history, and that is like a bit scary, right? I can see that yesterday I was watching the Alan Arnett. I follow his YouTube channel, his updates on Everest, because did you guys know right now they're summiting? I am not a mountaineer, and I don't know why I am so interested in anything to do with climbing. So I've been a big fan of Alan Arnett's channels for a long time. And then I watched an art haul from Miranda Watson, and then I watched, and it was really interesting. I watched Tio Yi Chi. I don't know. I think I'm butchering his name. He had an upload called "How Much Is Too Much?" And it was something that popped up on the sidebar of my YouTube. And then I clicked on it, and then he's just talking about, oh, how, when is art supply, when do I have too much shit, and he pulled out things from his drawer that he haven't been using for 2 or 3 or 4 years, and they were all like high-end product, like really good things, like the polychromas, Daniel Smith, Alvaro Castanet palette. I mean, just really, really good brands. And I'm thinking, oh my God, then he actually got too much because he's got these jewelry, these gems, and he haven't even used them. But then eventually throughout the video, he talks about when you find something precious, it's hard to use it. And if you find something that you bought that's like really expensive, like the polychromos, and you don't really dig a hard oil-based pencil, then it's difficult to figure out why are people hyping about this pencil. I don't like it at all, but it's too precious to just part with because you paid so much for it. So he's talking about those things in his uploads, and I really like that topic a lot. And I thought it was so perfect that I put it into this daily diary spread format because it's all about budget also, so it fits. Then I watched a tour of Versailles. Like I said, I'm watching the season 1 and 2 of Versailles. So yeah, I'm just, yeah, watching Versailles. Then I watched Mind of Watercolor. Oh yeah, I know why I wrote it there, because it has to be related to after watching that tour of Versailles, it took me down a rabbit hole with the 18th century dresses. So I drew this in my planner. It doesn't even belong in this planner. I can't believe why I'm doing this. I should have my junk journal for these things. That led to a drawing. Then I watched the Mind of Watercolor called uh, Foliage Value Patterns And you know what? I can't even remember a song. I don't even know what it's about. Okay, that's freaking scary. It's like I'm reading it for the first time. It's out of my brain. Okay, and then I watch another documentary about how they built Versailles. And then I heard the music from. Did you see the not reconstruction? Like they're making a new video of one of Agatha Christie's old novels called Murder at the Orient Express. And in this new movie, this remake, it's you could call it, Michelle Pfeiffer sings a song called Never Forget. I didn't even know that she could sing. And it's got this piano piece in it. And I watched that one, and then it led me to the next suggested video, which was a 1.5 hours long piano soundtrack from the movie Murder on the Orient Express. Here comes the crazy thing. I am capable of listening, and I've done it 2 times. I'm capable of listening to 1.5 hour of basically the same uninterrupted music, piece of music done in piano while I sit and draw. That is so weird. It's like having the same song on repeat all the time, but because it's like one long take, you don't really notice, that it's shifting a little bit in tempo, but going back to the original notes. So I just want to say to you guys, if anyone out there likes to listening to some calm classic music while they're painting, I can totally recommend the soundtrack from Murder on the Orient Express, and then you will find it's called the complete soundtrack, but it's in one long string. So it's just so cool. Then I watched Magical Touch Carol, and then I might watched more Versailles from Louis to French Revolution, and then I heard the song from Michelle Pfeiffer one more time before I turned off the computer. So that was like my day, right? Okay, what did I see? At night, I saw Dune from HBO Max. That's the one with Timothy Chalamet. Also, like a remake of an old film. And I got so inspired by the colors in it. It's more like a Star Wars themed visual experience. It takes place in the desert, so I really got in love with the way that they merged turquoise with ochre in that movie. And oh my god, the costume designers are just awesome. I actually think they won several Oscars for like makeup and costume and sound and special effects and all that jazz. So I printed out some of the poster. Could you call it that? I printed these two out, and I selected these two because it will forever remind me about that beautiful constellation between the greenish turquoise going into the ochre with a sepia background. Look how beautiful that is. I want to try and work with magicals with something like this. And then I totally am in love with that orange warm glow transitioning into the sepia. Also, something that I want to keep in the back of my brain. Let's see. I like to watch Rear Window on repeat while I art. Oh, cool. I mean, I'm mostly listening, but for some reason it's comforting and helps me feel creative. Oh, you know what, Amber? That's the best. Like when you know the movie, so you can just have it like a radio play. Because all the images are locked and stored in your brain, so you don't need to see facial expressions or surroundings, and it's just in your brain. That's just so cool. Okay, and then drawing was that I made a small sketch of what I think I will create after being inspired watching Dune. And it's gonna be a drawing a little bit like this, where I got like this sepia top tone, that awesome moon, and then I want to try and work with the red colors as the sand. And I love that idea of a slanted desert hill, because then you can really do a lot of work with these footprints. So I'm picturing like like sand hills can get spikes. I want to draw something where he's like walking on the edge of some of these spikes. So yeah, but that's how I get inspirations to some of the stuff that I draw. Enabled, I watched Carol. Um, uh, what's her channel name? Let me get it right. Magical Touch. She's not called Magical Touch Carol. I don't think she is. She. I think she's just called the Magical Touch, but her name is Carol, and she showed a stitch pattern book for Crazy Quilt, and she's quilting these rolls where she's actually with the needle and fabric showing her life, her day. Like if she, how can I explain it? Like if she's eating an ice cream, she will manage to slow stitch an ice cream on this long fabric roll that she has. Is really impressive to look at. She showed a book that displayed a ton of these slow stitch done with embroidery thread. I've been really fearing pronouncing that word. Embroidery. It sounds like I got a barf or something. Like a giant hairball is coming up. Embroidery thread. Well, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? But oh, that book was yummy. I slept on it, didn't buy it. So yeah. Okay, and this daily spread is a little bit silly. It's once again what I did, heard, and saw, right? What I did that day was that I was creek cutting a lot of the letters because we are recycling our trash, and apparently we're gonna be even more recycling. It's so annoying. So now we got like 8 giant containers in my driveway and looking so ugly. We are going to recycle within the paper category. So chipboard in one container, and paper in a second, and paper from food packaging in a third. Oh, it's gonna be so annoying. So I actually pre-coded my house number on each of those containers. Then I saw something that was so evil. You know what? I was walking back and forth between my house and the driveway when I was doing that sticker job, and then on the ground I see this hairball of red hair, and then I'm like, what the hell is that? And I look at it, and then I realize, oh, it's hair from my squirrel, and it must be some bird that's nesting and building the inner cone of the nest in these soft hair from a squirrel, and it was like maybe like 200 red hairs in a ball. And then later on, I see that there's like 8 birds fighting over that ball of hair. And I understand why. It must be like the giant loot of the month, like what a treasure. If you have to collect hair with a beak, what would you do? Like take 4 or 5 at a time and fly between the nests, and so finding like such a 200 hairs in one ball is like just a treat, like a big treasure. So of course these birds were fighting about it, and then I'm watching the birds how they are like arguing about this ball of hair instead of just sharing. And then suddenly from the left, whoa, my cat come jumping out from a bush with her mouth open. Ugh, and then all the birds are flying. And then she was sniffling to that red hairball, and then she started licking it because I think she tasted with her tongue or something, and then the annoying hairball got stuck to her tongue, so she ended just swallowing it, that ball of hair. And afterwards, she was just sitting down on this spot. I guess she was like digesting or something. But I thought it was so evil, like, oh my God, why couldn't she just have left them alone? When I clean my hairbrush, I throw it out the yard for the birds and the squirrels to make. Yes, exactly. I think they collect these things, and it's where do I mean, if people like you and people who owns pets and don't do that, where they're supposed to get it from? So it's like a big treat for them when they're building nest. So that what I saw that day, that evil cat of mine, just dominating her turf. Bad kitty, right? And then I heard that, and this is like really weird. It just made me ponder. I actually heard that Mona Lisa, the famous painting from Leonardo da Vinci, the one that's at Louvre in Paris, right? It was not always at Louvre. It actually had 8 years in the bedroom of Napoleon. Napoleon Bonaparte, at some point, he was, it was like after the French Revolution. He was strolling down Louvre, and then back then Mona Lisa was not as popular as she is. She only became popular like, it was like 150 years ago. The popularity started rising about this picture because it got stolen. But anyway, before all that, before all the hype about her being stolen from the museum, Napoleon actually glanced at that unknown painting and found her arousing. So he took her home and had her in his bedroom for 8 years before returning her to the museum. So I think, I don't know, I just can't picture that he's been like, jerking off to Mona Lisa for 8 years, and maybe that's helped her success, building up the magic around her being mysterious or something. But it really changed something for me when I heard that, because I was thinking, oh my God, how gross. So I had to write it down. And then we got a daily diary spread where I'm actually trying to do the spread where I encourage people to get to know an old art supply. Where was it? It's this spread right here, right? Where you investigate one art supply per day. So my intention that day was to find an art supply and then trying to do a page spread about it so that you guys could see how would I, work with such a page spread. Let's see, pre-Playboy and Mona Lisa. Exactly. It just changes something inside of me, like knowing that, oh my God, he loved it so much that he had to take it home. Yeah, it's just strange. But okay, this day it just turned out to be something completely different. First of all, it just got into a rabbit hole with me ending up digging for old things, because first I was thinking, it could be clever to find something that's soon going to be expired so I could use it up before it's going bad. And one of the items that I found was actually my Timmy Tim Holtz distress markers. They have been revitalized once. I used the Mary Atelier method where you take the nib out and then you put in some water. I need some pliers to take it off. You can take this whole black section off, and then you have the round hollow barrel down here where you can squeeze down some water, and then remember to store them like this so that the water can mix with the ink inside of this. They have been revitalized once. I don't know why. I just don't gravitate to these. So they are about to expire because they're about to dry out one more time. I can't believe I'm talking about these markers. I think I talked about them 2 years ago or something. And then what I also talked about last year a lot was that a lot of my gelatos is expiring. what I mean when a gelato is expiring is when it starts to get hard and not soft like lipstick. Like this is very sparse. It's very like what's it called? Like it's not a lot of pigment to just take off a stick like this. Is super dry compared to a really moist, fresh stick. Like this is a moist, fresh stick. It's newer. It's not a gelato, but it's the same. I can just feel it's more like a lip balm, moist. Pigments are so fragile; it even comes out in chunks. So yeah, I really I should spend some time sketching with these and then use these. I would hate myself if I had to kick out such a giant stash. There's so much product in this. Yeah. So I started digging, like, and then I found other things. Now we're getting to it. Hang on, I just need something to drink. I came across this palette. I've used it a lot. I don't think it shows on the screen, but there's these are like really big cups. So just using this much of of paint is like how can I say, like it's well used. I don't have the balls to kick it out, but I should, because now it's no longer fun to paint with these hard. It's hard as rock, man. I'm telling you. I'm scared that I'm going to break the bristles of my brush when I pick up the gouache. I could water it down, but I don't like to paint with watered out gouache. I like it's the consistent it had when it was not hard. And I actually, the last many times I painted with gouache, I used it fresh out of tube. So I'm not sure that I like. Really must be careful what I'm saying. It's not that I dislike this product. I think I just used it too much. You know what I'm talking about? Like I used it so much that I'm sick and tired of this palette. I'm sick and tired of the colors. There's nothing wrong with the quality of it. I just yeah. And then there's another annoying thing. It's done working as a closure. Like, listen. Okay, now I'm gonna close it. Can we agree? There's something wrong here. Wait a second. Okay, now it's closed, and then we'll just leave it and I'll start talking. And then you will see in 2 minutes, it's jumping up. I just hate that about the lid. I found that gouache. They've got the gelatos, the tin markers. What else did I find? Oh yeah, the woodless coloring pencils. I don't use these. Oh, did you hear that? It actually snapped open in this end here, I think. I could just hear that it started to snap open. Okay, these woodless colored pencils got a very hard lead. I have never sharpened them because I think it's a waste of pigment. And if I try to sharpen them, this is it like plastic coating will splinter, so I don't like it. I know this sounds stupid, but I think I'm gonna use them this summer, and then I'm gonna find some balls to actually kick them out. I'm so sick and tired of grabbing these secondhand colored pencils just because I feel that I need to use it up, because it's a shame if it's going to the landfill. So it made me think about, why is it so difficult for me to throw out things from my creative studio. I don't have that issue elsewise in my life. Like if I'm decluttering my closet, it's very easy for me to part with things. I can part with bags that I really like, and shoes and kitchen items. Hi, CB. but it's very difficult for me to declutter art supply. You so got your money's worth. Yes, you can dissolve and move into smaller pens. Yes, I mean, oh look, I don't know. It's just, maybe you can see it better. Look how it's just opening up by itself. So talking about, you can just move these and then you have like a fabulous container for other things. I would even say no to that because the lid no longer is trustworthy. It flops up itself. It opens up itself. So I don't know if you saw that. It just clicked open one more time. And now this one clicks open. It's just frustrating palette. So I know a lot of people would say that if you dislike the paint, then at least use the container. But the way it's just, yeah, I should use it in this project, I think. And then when this project is closed down, I should find the guts to just declutter it. But I managed to find those materials. So what I learned this day was I listed up some of the things that I can imagine is going to expire and that I need to keep out on my table, use it up, and then consider to just throw it out. The same with these colored pencils. You know what? I like my Prismas and I actually love my polychromas a little bit more than I love my Prismas. I just like a hard lead. Um, but this is like too hard of a lead. This is like a comfortable hard lead, but the pigment is weak. So can you imagine how many drawings I'm going to make if I should use up these drawings compared to I could have spent the time working with a pencil that I really love. So I'm kind of having that thought process in my head that, oh, it takes a while to use up a freaking giant palette of something. And meanwhile, you're using it up, you could have used something that you really like to work with, and maybe your end result is getting better. I don't know. So that page spread was about that. Set a lot of thoughts in my head. What will you do with the ones you don't want? Well, CB, I find it really hard to throw out things, but I actually think that I'm gonna throw it out. I'm gonna kick it out. My son no longer goes to a public school, so it's not like I can carry it to his school and donate it. I don't even know. Uh, it feels weird to donate something that's been used, like art supplies that's been used. I don't know. Maybe you guys got an idea. We just don't have places like what do you guys have? You have like what do you call it? Um what is it called? I don't even know the name of it. Like charity places where you can dump your things and then just drive off and then they will sell it and make an income. We don't really have that with this kind of supply. We have it with books and clothes, but they're very selective. They would say no to taking in these kind of things. Let's see. Set it for free market giveaway. Yeah, but who's gonna pay for the shipping? I just hate that transaction thing going on because shipping is not. Um, you know, then what if like you have like four items and four different people want it, so you have to like suddenly do like four times postals instead of just throwing it out. Yeah, but we don't have thrift stores that takes in art supplies. I know it because we have like a local thrift store, and I asked them, do they ever get any art supplies? Because I so would buy a secondhand watercolor, like a vintage watercolor palette. That was like a hot dream for me to get, you know. But and then she just basically said, no, they don't take in pens or pencils or any of that because they just don't. So give it to poor families. Also have a store where they generate. No, 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 I can't do an auction. I live in Denmark, so it would cost, I think, around maybe $14 to just ship uh, this bundle, and it's crazy because for 14 bucks you can buy. And that's the thing, right? Things are just getting so inexpensive. So for $14 you can actually get some pretty nice things from new. So why would anyone pay for, and that's just the shipping, you know? Why would anyone pay for shipping? No, it's just I think I'm gonna use it, and then but I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I cannot picture giving away a palette like this. I mean, maybe you guys understand it when you really see this palette. I mean, you really have to love art supply to appreciate this, because it's like, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Enough rambling about that. And then this daily diary is also about what I did, what I saw, and what I heard. That morning, I heard gibberish because, when you're ordering, like, I don't even know where to start. I'm so pissed about this. When you order a contractor to build something, they freaking, or freight people have to deliver something, they freaking show up at 7 in the morning. So when you call like, I don't know, somebody to come fix your radiator or your sink or something, they will be like, yeah, I got a free time in 8 months, and then they show up at 7 in the morning. And I had to order some packaging envelopes for our business, and I totally forgot about it. So I just went to bed, and then sure enough, the next morning, 5 minutes past 7 in the morning, it rings on the door, and I know because we have been ordering this for a while, several years. So I know he needs my signature, otherwise he will not leave it. So I I crawled out of bed, and I had a conversation with him where he was talking gibberish, and I was having, like, I don't know, plucked ears or something. I can't even recall what we talked about, but I managed to complete the transaction with my signature saying bye bye at the right place. And I think I said, yeah, yo, no, at the right places in the conversation. But he talked like, I couldn't understand anything. I was so tired. Let's see. I am amazed at the online craft auctions, which what people would pay plus postage for stuff. Really? I've never. I don't have. I have not participated to any one of those. Does people really sell these things online? I never pondered about that because I would like give it away. Like give it away, but I don't want to be bothered about giving it away, having to pay a lot of postage to get rid of it, or a lot of inconvenience back and forth with email and address and all that. So, yeah. Okay. And then I just wrote that I was risen by the doorbell at 7. So that's what I did. I woke up super early that day. I heard gibberish from that guy. Blah, 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 blah. And then I saw the most amazing documentary ever. It's about a place in Normandy in France, and it's called the Mount Saint Michel. You guys probably know about it, but it was new for me. Oh my god, it's awesome. The documentary full name was called Le Mount Saint Michel, France, Ancient Superstructure Documentary, and it's here on YouTube. what I was Googling was Gothic buildings because I want to do a black and white pencil drawing of a Gothic church. And I'm just Googling, fooling around on YouTube until I stumbled on this documentary about a monastery in a mountain located in sea, because when the tide is coming in with the water, it looks like it's a tiny island with this monastery, yeah, monastery on an island, and it's so beautiful. Oh my god. I'm got And it's in France, so it's actually possible for me to go there. And I showed it to my hubby, and I said, you know what, I want to go on in the future Lena want to go on a sketch holiday where she is super selfish, not thinking about what the rest of the family wants. I just want 3 days in a place that I select, and I'm just gonna be left alone for 3 days, sketching and drawing and doing like urban sketching of buildings. When I saw that island, I was like, that is the perfect location, and it's in France, so we could like go to Paris or whatnot. It's like a wonderful country to visit. I'm telling you guys, it's Gothic buildings with the Stamperia paper. What the time traveler, where there is this Middle Earth town, small houses. It's built like that with small houses in the bottom of the hill, and then up in the top, way up in like a peak of a mountain. There is this monastery. It's built on a rock, and the story is that it used to be uh, the whole area used to be land and rock, but this particular rock was special. So when all the other rock in the area it was eroded by water and weather, except that rock in the smack in the middle of the area where they apparently built all these this church and everything on it. So through time, it experienced to become uh, an island in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the sea when the tides come in, because all the other earth rocks were eroded. And then, of course, in the documentary, the guy talks about, yeah, we don't know where this giant mountain rock formation came from, probably from outer space. And I love it when they come with that explanation. If they can't explain the origin of something, it's just it came from outer space. But I was just made me thought about, I think it's made out of all like black holes are made out of the bad energy from YouTube haters and trolls. So I think if you slice up that really extremely hard rock, you will find like compressed anger from giant YouTube haters. That's why it's sustained, the erosion from time and water. So, hey, question: has anyone tried distress markers? Is that these ones? So do you like them? I'm considering getting some, but don't want to get them if they ain't cool. Oh, really? Hey, Amber, I'm gonna put in my email address, and then I'm gonna send you these. I've had them for a long time. I have reconstituted them with water, so I don't think that they are not as juicy as when they're like totally brand new. It's a marker where you got like a felt tip on one end. Look how dry it is. Oh my god. See, I can't even make myself send this one. It's dead, it's dead. And then it's got like a fine nib on the other. Oh my god. Look, that's my issue. Like, when it's dead, it's just dead, dried up. Okay, this one is. But Amber, I'm gonna send these to you if you're interested. Better that than me putting it in the garbage. But look, the thing is that now I'm gonna dip the tip in water. The thing is that if you put water inside it, you can revitalize it, so you can you can get the marker to work. I bought them way back, and I used them to paint my stamps. That's how I got to know about Tim Holtz. It was because I had some of his stamps. So I thought back then that I wouldn't buy all his ink pads. Instead, I would just buy these distress markers. They carry the same name as his ink pads. Worn lipstick, you can get that in his ink pad collection. Let's see. I don't mind throwing out dead pen. No, exactly. But I'm gonna put in my email address, so Amber, let me know. Just a second. Okay, you can send me your address if you want these, and just be aware that they're, dried out, you could say. But you can, with pliers, can you see how I just disattach the this nib here? Then you can see that there is this felt thing in the barrel. If you take an eyedropper and squeeze down drops of water and then let it lay overnight in a horizontal position, you can actually revitalize them so they become like juicy. Okay, there is a lot of scam going on with giveaways and people, when you get, I want to say, when you leave your email out in the void like I just did, some idiots pick it up and then try sending scam shit stuff. So I am not gonna send you an email where you have to register in a different place or something. Just I am waiting for your mail. So just I'm just saying that as a disclaimer, because I know that Mind of Watercolor Steve got really harassed, and he talked about, for some reason, people are hackers are annoying people when they're entering a giveaway or something for free on YouTube. They send them faux links to pages that they have to click on. So I'm just putting it out there that I would never send you a link or something that you have to click on to give me your address. That's it. I think that's really the only advantage of the distress markers. They match the colors in the ink pad. Yes, yes, exactly. So, and you can also blend with them. They blend perfectly, and you can like scratch them out on a porcelain plate and pick up pigments with a water brush and then use it like some sort of watercolor. So, yeah, they're they're really likable if you can make them work. So, did you get it written down, Amber? I'll delete it after you say yes. Oh, awesome. Maybe I can delete it then. Ka-ching. I think I posted back. Oh yeah, that was a that was a professional way of doing it. That's good. You have, yeah, I deleted it. Um oh my god, I'm a bigger boss than Jan. Uh, but she can still do more cheese than I can. I think. Yeah, but okay, blah 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 blah. We really talked a lot. Now get down to business. We're going to make the crayon exercise today, where somehow we are going to learn from it. I don't really know. I'm kind of insecure what we're gonna pick up from it. I did this page spread with these crayons, but it was just like really lightly. So I feel that I have done one, and she want people to do 3 of them. So I've done one, and I'm doing my second spread. Yes, you are the cheese expert. So yeah, well, I was working with these motif this week. I think I wanna, because my dream is to take one of these backgrounds that I've made and then somehow maybe next week or whenever put in one of these characters. you know So I get myself like a Versailles inspired drawing. This is inspired from a Danish artist called Hammershøi. And before, just because you're here, Janet, I talked about I worked with magicals while you were streaming. It was this one I worked with, where I, like was blowing with the wet page and stuff. So I just wanted to show, what I've been doing. But I'm thinking, this is so cool to do if you like rulers. So yeah, you guys should give it a try if you like to, you know, a lot of linear work. And in my way, I'm thinking that's not really drawing. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm trying to say. This is because there's no person in this. It's just line work. Uh, so if you can handle a ruler, then you can actually make this. I think for me, the difficult drill is to get this woman somehow pasted in. That's when I feel that, oh, then it's a drawing, like, oh, I have to put in a person in here. But this was so simple to do, so try it out. It's not so scary. So that's why I'm thinking I should try. Maybe I should put him in first. I'm gonna work with him. I thought that he got like really a hilarious. Okay, that's too high. Or is it? No, that was. We're gonna get higher up because he's wearing that ridiculous long wig. Louis the 14th kind of suffered from loss of hair, so suddenly he started to wear wigs that just for some reason was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the people at court at Versailles took it up as a new sort of fashion. So the size of their wigs just grew in a ridiculous direction. So I'm thinking I want him in like really a sketchy look, and then we can fill it out with color. Something like really a French way of standing at court with like 1 foot, and then they're wearing knickers, like tiny trousers. That's just in a little bit way, a little bit cute, right? Oh my god, I painted him too big. He's wearing these, and then he's got this jacket with a ton of buttons, and the buttons were like gold, made out of gold. So talk about getting bankrupt and just paying for one outfit of clothes, because the clothes needed these crazy amount of buttons. And then they like that showcase of hygiene by showing your inner cloth to the outer surface. That's why they have these cuffs. That's their way of symbolizing that they're clean. They got like clean shirt inside. A really, really crazy etiquette. Coming from a world where they barely showered on a monthly basis, but they changed their shirt and outfit a ton. So it's not like they wore the same shirt during the whole day. So maybe that kind of substituted antiperspiration deodorant or even a shower. Who knows? And now let's get the window. Let's see. They were stinky. Oh, thank you, Amber. I don't really go for anything pretty in this one, and just want to fill out these. Yeah, they were like super stinky, and what really ponders me is, like they put a lot of makeup on to cover pots and marks, but the makeup that they used contained arsenic to bleach the skin, because they like that very pale skin, because workers who spent their day out in the sun had brown tan, and it shows that you were like a worker. And since they were like noble people that didn't need to work out in a scaffold or somewhere, they took care of their skin by protecting it from the sun. But that was not enough. They started to bleach their skin with creams that contained arsenic, which left them with horrendous um, spots in their faces. So then they also started to cover up these spots by giving themselves black fake birthmarks, so it was just getting worse and worse and worse, and I really like that caricature face that they ended up with in the 18th century, where like where they were like really powdered white, and they had like round uh colored cheeks, and the lipstick was like giving them like narrow lips, and then they had all these crazy black marks to cover up their skin rash and everything. So yeah, but it's just crazy to think about that the clothes they were so beautiful and pristine and expensive fabric, but the people wearing them were just like not so much into hygiene, and transformed into looking like monsters in a way. Yeah, it does like look like monsters, that face they got. I guess that's why I love to see uh I'm watching the Versailles season 2 I am at the moment, because it makes me think about the fashion and the whole way of living. And let's see. Sometimes it was their own hair, not always a wig, which freaks me out even more. Oh my god, they really fluffed it up. I don't even know if they had like hairspray back then. Maybe they used something really simple, like the white from eggs is like a stiffener. You can whip it up into something when you're cooking. So I'm just thinking that if you just take the egg and remove the yolk, and then use that egg white that's left, that you could put it in your hair and make it stiff or something. They powdered the wigs so they didn't so the dirt didn't show. Buck. Oh my god, yeah, yeah, yeah. They had like bugs living in their wigs, and even Louis had a I think they called it a wig rash, where he in his neck had a skin condition caused by wearing sweaty wigs that was dirty. Like, ugh, can you imagine how much you have worn this wig since you're getting a rash that you can't treat? Oh my god, that's just, yeah, what you do for beauty, right? But the fashion was just out of hand. I mean, it was just, I don't know why I'm like this, but I look at the big dresses, the corsets, and everything, and the first thing that comes to mind is, what are these ladies gonna do if they have to pee or something? I mean, can you imagine and also knowing that when they built Versailles, they didn't build a lot of bathrooms, so people were squatting down in the corridors, and also had this we had this pot that was sent around in the room so they could stay in the saloons and then just pee, because they had these big dresses so they could just squat over this pot. I mean, it's just so weird to think about. That was like not gonna happen today. I'm just blocking in colors. Okay, that's stupid to use the same blue. Blue. I think I'm gonna put them out on the table. Okay, what do we have? We have a purple. Let's see. Some kind of promenade, and they powdered so it's not greasy. I watched this vintage dressed girl, and she said if you powder your real hair, it helps absorb the oil, kind of like a dry shampoo. Oh, yeah, that actually makes sense. Like capturing the moist and the sweat. But those wigs, man, they must have weighed a ton. Some of them, some of the, when you're thinking about Marie Antoinette, she was like really into crazy fashion. She could wore like ships and a lot of buildings in her wig, showing like a full landscape scenery. No, I'm just exaggerating, but really, it must weigh a ton. Just walking around balancing that during the day. What to do here? Maybe like a door. Okay. Or maybe a woman here could be like a woman. Do I have the courage to draw a woman? Where's that skin? This is like really strange peach skin tone. I'm not sure that the exercise you're supposed to go into detail with these waxy crayons. I think it's totally impossible to get any details done in a fat crayon. Okay, we're gonna give her the ship. Okay, let's see, a green ship. Just so we know what we're talking about. There's the ship, right? Where's the black one? Okay, now I'm a little bit quiet because I'm sketching in this ship, and it needs to be anchored with something that simulates like maybe like gold. Okay, this is the crazy lady with the, with the ship, and then they had this curly long thing going down. Okay, she needs a dress, like a really fabulous dress. How can I do her skin tone? Do we have like a brown? I think she could have like a very flowery dress. If you can hear something that sounds like tiny farts, it's my cat snoring. Can I show her? Isn't it cute? But she's snoring. She's totally making like small fart, baby fart sounds like puff, puff, puff. Let's see. Uh, did I miss when I have? Oh my God! CB asked if it wasn't in the 18th century that they had a personal butt wiper. I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of the people from the nobility didn't even know how to get dressed. They had people to do all the things, and some of their clothes are designed so they can't even get out of them themselves. They really need people to undress them. I mean, what's that about, being trapped in your own clothes? Okay, I think I want her hands and her arms to be like like holding maybe a red rose. Just a single red rose. Okay, now for the dress. Did you guys see that they have the ones that are like really going outwards like that? Like, get out of my way, like really squeezing in. That is just hilarious. But I think she would have like one of those where the corset is going deep down and then that shift color. Let us just give her the meringue dress, and then maybe we could be nice and give her these some sort of like it's a curtain. So she has like a dress here and then something that's draping over the dress, like a slit. I don't know what the name is. And then this one inside here could be like really light pink. I think I'm totally misunderstanding the Lynda Barry exercise. But yeah, I could just cover the whole page, from top to bottom with a crayon, but I think that's like a waste of time and waste of crayon. So I'm just trying to draw something instead. Okay, and then I'm really fond of that magenta, dark magenta, this one. But oh my God, the building, the garden, oh, the glass mirror hall. I mean, the building itself is just. I can't believe that they were able to produce buildings like that. The artwork in the ceilings and everything is just so like almost like rococo, like too much to take in just one glance. I mean, it's just it must be so wonderful, making a movie about that era in time and be allowed access to Versailles. I mean, yeah. When we went to Moscow, I have been in Russia. We watched the Katerina the Great's palace, and it was like a guided tour. And I was a little bit disappointed because I wanted to be let loose, cut loose, and then just walk around the palace myself. But that's not impossible. And who are you kidding? It was in Russia, right? But anyway, what I'm talking about is that guided tours in palaces are less fun because you go in big groups and then you're just going from room to room to room, and then you, you're not impulsive and you don't investigate. I want to be a kid, and get lost in the corridors, and yeah, but that's not happening. So I can just picture that if I went to France and you know visit Versailles, that it would be the same experience when you were standing in line for almost 2 hours and then weren't allowed to move spontaneously when you're inside. So maybe it's just one of those that I should keep in my imagination, because in my imagination I can dream about being there and what I would do. And for some reason I think about eating. Isn't it funny? Like, they would never offer you a tea party where you can go crazy and there are yummy cakes and pastry. Never gonna happen. But in my dream world, it would be like the perfect tour to a palace, ending up in the garden to in this tea set table with a lot of French pastry. Not gonna happen. Okay, that was her. She's a little bit Frenchy. We need to outline her. The way I want to outline her is to do like negative painting around her body. Let's see. That was to distract from their bathroom habits. um, I am just getting so off chat. I'm sorry for not participating much in chat. I just I get swallowed up by this drawing here. We should have her. Oh, perfect. We should have like a window. Maybe it's too late for the window. No, I can still have a window here, I think. Just do like this. Yeah, I'm definitely going to try and make like a serious, is it called a real palace drawing um after this in this week. Could be fun to go like really dark. How is it to, if I get the sepia as just a backtone? But I often think about what were they doing? Like, the noble people lived at the castle, right? What were they spending their day on? I mean, what were they doing? They were stayed there for years in these surroundings where they were offered breakfast, luncheon, dinner, and then occasionally a party or a masquerade or something. But what did they spend their day with? It's really a puzzle to me, because there's only so many times you can stroll in the garden finding it amusing. I mean, so it must have been like daily day life for them too. Like like a freak show or something. Really difficult to adjust to normal life when they came home. Some of them had to have had like places they lived before they lived at the castle. And also, some of them were like gifted mansions because they were noble people, but they spent their life living in Versailles, not enjoying their own mansions. I mean, what's that about? If you have like a giant castle yourself at home, wouldn't you rather be there instead? Okay, I'm sorry for it being so much about this Versailles, but hey, it could have been Dune. The other thing I've been watching is Dune. So it was either the Versailles or the Dune. Gonna have like a tree here. Okay, now I can feel that I'm putting in the first coat and I got like grip on the paper. You know what I mean? Like, but as soon as I'm getting in, trying to layer it, I get that waxy feel. So my tip is to run over it with your heat gun, and when you do so, you're going to have a transparent backside. So let me just illustrate that. Right now, I got like crinkles, like what is it called? It crumples. I got crumples, and it's kind of greasy from the wax. But if I hit it with my heat gun, just enough so it becomes shiny, then you know it's melted. And you know it's melted when you flip the page and you see this. But what miraculously happens now is that now it's dry. It's not greasy of wax, and I can actually get a second coat in. So now it will receive yet another coat. That's the best trick that I have in the pocket when it comes to working with these type of wax crayons. And now it's like painting on fresh new paper for the first time, even though I am top layering on a greasy wax background. Okay, I like that contrast, the dark and then her shiny muffet dress right here. Maybe we can go a little bit darker with the. We need some sort of face. She's looking a little bit mad. She's allowed to be mad. They gambled like freaks. They could like do a card play and then spend 2 annual paychecks in just one evening. So maybe that's what happened to her. And now for the fun part, those round, blushy, yeah, red cheeks. Do I have a white? I wonder how the white is working on this one. Nah, ain't gonna happen. I'm only like burnishing with the white. It's not like I'm getting any white. Oh man, try getting a tiny. Maybe if I use the back end. Okay, as good as it gets. That's her face. Let's see. Hello, Brenda. Welcome to my stream. Thank you. Oh man, I have to go back and read chat. I can not multitask. Okay, let's get in some bush green things here in the back. Maybe one of those cone-shaped trees. Oh, that was actually a good trademark for the garden. That those cone-shaped trees. Yeah. Maybe like this. I'm just babbling. I'm trying to hurry up because suddenly I realized that there's like 20 minutes until Bob comes on and do her Drama Free Friday. Oh, I love it. Friday is going to be like my best day of the week now because, I get to meet you guys while I'm streaming, and then while I'm clearing off my desk or, do whatever I do when the stream is over, I have Barb. in the background, so it's just super, super awesome Friday. I should really kick up the speed now. Don't think that Lynda Barry is gonna pass my class if this was like a assignment for her class, because her idea was that the exercise, you have to learn that you have to do it slowly if you want to build up a whole fully covered page with crayons. The trick is to do it slow and not quick. But oh man, can you imagine going to like college or something, and then you're having really hard classes where you're learning about language and history and geometry and all sorts of like intricate things, and then you get to her class. What kind of fresh breath it must have been for her students to enter the room and then just, now we're going to be creative. Like now we're going to, have crayons on our desk, and she don't expect like a really picture perfect look-alike outcome of what you're drawing. She really loves stick figures and stuff like that. I would have loved to study that course, I'm telling you guys. Okay, the floor here, we must pick a color for that. I think orange, because it's a crazy color. Oh, thank you, Janet. Okay, now I am so close to have the page filled. Of course, I need to work on the gentleman right there. The monsieur. Okay, some yellow. Oh, I'm stupid. I could have like yellow from the window, like a shadow coming in. Yeah, I'm gonna redo that floor. Where's that sepia? I had like this one maybe. I'm trying to get the floor shadow part in here. Okay, I'm gonna give it a ton of contrast because I need him to kind of stand out. I think that he should be in like a yellow, what's it called? Man suit, I almost said. No, it's not called that. Outfit. Oh my god. Man suit. What the hell was I thinking? Like they were wearing spandex. Okay, let's try and get in his clothes. Or should it be? If I give him yellow, you can't see the golden buttons. How about a white grayish? How do you even work with this white one? White in many cheap sets are like worthless. Colored pencils, or I don't know. Yeah, mostly colored pencils, I guess. Sometimes the white is just a waste of space in cheap palettes. So what I'm doing is that I'm coating in first with white to get that crazy resist. Oh my god, that's a good thing to use these wax crayons for. I can't tell that I'm putting down white on the paper, so it could actually be my resist crayon when I am not using it for my Lynda Barry journal. But let me hear, guys, do you guys have like a comp book going on? do I spark any motivation in trying having that daily journal? It doesn't have to be like everyday daily journal. You can just do like me, like skip some days, and then when you see something crazy or evil, like my cat messing with the birds in the yard or something, then you can put that in. Oh, there it is. Okay, he's a guy, so let's first of all give him. They shaved so hysterically, so he's not gonna have a beard. Um, and then they actually used lipstick and makeup. That must be so funny. Husband and wife getting ready in the morning, arguing about who used the eyeliner last and the powder. Okay, let's see. I do still doing the monster journal, yay, with borders and stories. Oh, that's cool, man. I really like the stories where you think about the origin of the character, where they come from, what they have done, achieved in their life. I think it's fun just to let your imagination go crazy. There is so much serious thing to I almost said waste energy on. you know, Throughout the day, there's so much adulting that it's just awesome to have a designated place to be a nuthead. That's like the best with these Lynda Barry themed journals is that you get this outlet, this place where you can just be really crazy and don't care if your drawings are not like picture perfect. Okay, it's getting sticky. It's getting like crumbles. I'm gonna hit it with heat gun. I look for the shiny. Yeah, want to hear something gross? You can even smell when it's cooked. I mean, I look for when it's getting shiny, then I know to stop using the heat gun. But you can actually smell the release, the toxic release. Oh my god, I have to show my cat. She's looking so cute. Please don't move. Don't you guys just love when they're curling up like that? Look at her legs. Isn't it cute? Oh man. If you really want to, end up at the hospital on a Friday night, you would try and touch her stomach. She's lying back like that. I feel drawn to try and cuddle her on on her tummy, but I also know that it's super stupid and dangerous. Okay, now more. Let's try and just go crazy with colors and see what we get. Like put in some pink. Yeah, I can imagine how I'm supposed to sit and then just keep throwing crayon, crayon, crayon on this drawing right here. Okay, maybe some yeah, some of this crazy skin tone. It's like a peachy peach. Maybe, okay, I could outline with black the window frames. That would give like some structure. I wonder when enough is enough. I think I may have to continue a little while after my stream is over and still putting in. Okay, and now is a fine time to ponder about what is to be learned about what I'm doing here. You guys can help me out. I'm thinking, what? Why does she has this assignment, right? Come on, people, help me out. Why do we think that? Uh, hmm, maybe it's to loosen up. Like you have to cover the whole page, so you grab for random crayons in like a fuzzy attempt to fill up the page. I don't know. Maybe it's just to get used to color with a crayon stick. Some people say that it triggers finger memory from when you were a kid. Maybe that's why we should do this. I don't know. Let's see. Hi, Glory. I saw the end of your stream where you were squishing flowers. The Kathy Arbor style looks so cool. I couldn't go in and say hi because I was finding stuff for my stream, but you made an awesome page spread with the art by Mylene. I think Lynda Barry does this so you just do and don't try so hard to make it precious. Yeah, I think that's true. And it is difficult to get anything precious with a blunt stick like this. I mean, getting in details, forget about it. So maybe the exercise is also just to have fun and see the colors. But she's also talking about the burnishing, like when you really go in and saturate the page. And that's why I feel that I am not even close to be done with this page spread yet. Because I still need that crazy burnishing. Okay, maybe we could get like some red highlight on the window frame. So I'm having like red on the floor. Let's see. I think most of us would be surprised by the result, not mattering how good someone else might deem it. Oh yeah, that's also one of the things she talked a lot about, like what is a good or a bad drawing, like where do you put the bar for yourself. And she gave an example where she in papier mache had made a dog, but as soon as she painted in the face on the dog, she disliked it because she was not satisfied with her face. And that was when she was younger, right? And I get that a lot when I'm making something. Then I regret, sometimes I feel that like I ruined it, I went too far or something. And maybe that's what this exercise is about, like trying to be comfortable with liking when you're going and pushing things too far, because you really are pushing it far if you have to burnish the freaking crayon to the paper. Let's see. Also, maybe because it's accessible to a lot of people, pretty much everyone has crayons. Yes, 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 yes. That was a good one, Amber. So true. And it's just a piece of paper, So it's not like it's precious paper or anything. I think I should stop now. It's like 5 minutes before Bob comes on. So if you guys don't have like a waiter coming in with a potty stool for you to squat over, then you will have a fair chance to go to the restroom. So, oh, cool, Janet. I would love to see your book. I mean, it's getting more and more like just colorful and crazy. I think it's getting more in that Lynda Barry stylish thing that I'm going for, you know. So awesome. You're going to squat on my floor, buddy. Cool. But I want to say a happy weekend and say goodbye to you guys now. So see you at Barb's. And thanks for joining me in my stream. I love you all. So bye bye. See you on Friday. Janice, why she just squatted in the corner? Bye bye.